governance, I think si Pinoy ang mas magaling. Kasi kung ano, parang may political will siya sa mga projects na gusto niya implement. Si Arroyo naman, sa katulad kong sa gobyerno, pagdating sa benefits, parang okay siya. Yun ang nakikita kong maganda.
I think Aquino
Philip,
and Arroyo government, I could say na better, obviously better yung kay Aquino, simply because nakikita natin briefly and concretely na tumataas yung growth. When we speak about the marginal equity with equilibrium na nakikita natin sa kabuuan ng ating status na ekonomiya, makikita naman na mas maganda at mas visible yung mga pinapakita ng ating pangkasalukuyang presidente. Bagkus, hindi ko naman sinasabi na walang nagawang mabuti si Arroyo. It's just that what I'm trying to say is that yung kung ano yung mas nakakabuti para sa maraming tao, yun yung pinapakita ng ating current president.
Economic-wise, that of Miss Gloria Macapagal Arroyo is actually doing fine, doing well. One of the indicators then was the 9/11 attack, wherein almost the whole world have actually planned with regard to economic performances. However, it's the Philippines, especially within Asia range, it's the Philippines is actually keeping and holding on into its position. So being there is actually more than European countries have actually slide down, Singapore and the rest have slide down, but Philippines actually maintained on the top on those days. So I guess Arroyo's working then was actually she quite did well on those days. With regard to economy, the downside, I guess, of that one is with also the same problem with other government is how to make that economic growth be felt by the common people. That's actually where the problem of Arroyo administration that's the problem that they have before. With regard to that of President Aquino's right now, the present administration Aquino, yes, and there are indicators. The foreign policy institutions have upgraded several times already with the recent booms, I guess, that of the government. The rating is they are lifting it up. Then the status is actually still okay. Again, but the problem, in my observation, the problem is until now how to make it be felt by the common people. Just like the rallies that we have right now and the demonstrations that we have right now, including that of Napoles, is actually boils down to one thing. We have an economic growth. The trust of the whole world is great with regard to Aquino's image. However, the income, the GNP is actually not felt in the grassroots level, and I guess that's where the commonality is raging in both presidencies.
We could say that during the administration of President Arroyo, we could say that she was able to invite foreign investors. So, in fairness naman, there were a lot of improvements in the Philippines during her time, which enables her to attract foreign investors. I cannot really say if it really helped a lot, pero obviously, meron naman siyang positive effect in terms of attracting investors. So, hindi ko lang masabi kung yung additional, if the additional foreign direct investment came from dun sa mga visit niya. So, I cannot really say na dumami kasi pumunta siya doon or what. Pero, dumami naman yung foreign direct investment. So far, yung strategy niya is to attract foreign investors by improving the image of the Philippines. So, as you can see, or most of the people could see, maraming advertisement, not in TV, not naman in TV lang, pero there are a lot of investment on advertisement regarding the Philippines. So parang napansin ko during the time of Aquino, parang nagiging parang product yung Philippines na binibenta siya, parang pinopromote siya. So I think that's a good strategy to attract more foreign investors. Tapos yung slogan niya na daang matuwid, although not yet proven that we're actually going through the daang matuwid na, pero at least there's an effort which increases investors' confidence, which probably would increase foreign direct investment. I think what we can do is to promote investment in the Philippines. Pero in terms of handling investors, I think different government agencies and institutions are the one in charge in doing this, na parang BTI, Board of Investment. So it's up to them how to handle the investors. So in terms of for the president naman, I think yung mga sabi mo kanina, yung trips ni President Arroyo sa abroad to attract investors is a good way to maintain a good relationship with investors and potential investors. Now, President, we cannot really say na successful yung pag-handle sa investor sa pamamagitan ng pagbilang ng trips abroad ng mga president. So, it still depends kung gaano siyang ka-effective sa pag-attract na investors. Basically, yung problem ng education in the Philippines is kasi di ba we have two sectors sa education. You have the private and the public for education. So, for private schools, I can say na walang problema kasi since it's private school, merong profit motive. So, nangyayari is private schools would compete with each other. So, kasama sa competition is improving the quality. So, on their own, improve na nila yung quality. Plus, we have a lot of regulations care of the Department of Education in regards to maintaining a school. So, walang problems sa private. Sa public, ang mga problems na nakikita ko is yung lack of resources, meaning lack ng teachers, kulang yung mga teachers, kulang ng classrooms, ng books, tapos maraming bahay, lalo na sa probinsya, na malayo sa school. So, it will take a lot of time bago makarating yung student sa school. Plus, yung mga tao na, yung mga families na sobrang hirap, nasa poverty. So, it's not that they can't afford to go to school kasi public school naman siya, di ba? Kaso lang, pag pumunta sa public school, kahit libre yung tuition, kailangan pa rin bumili ng uniform, school supplies, projects, baon, pagkain. So, nagiging mahirap. So, ang tingin ko, yung problem ng time ni Arroyo and ni Aquino, same pa rin. Yun pa rin, kulang pa rin ng classroom, kulang ng teachers. So, nangyayari sa isang classroom, siksikan yung mga students, tapos isang teacher, marami siyang tinuturuan. So, walang focus yung teacher dun sa bata. Kahit may problem pa rin, I can say na nag-i-improve naman siya. So, the government is investing a lot in infrastructure, such as increasing the number of classrooms, increasing the facilities. K-12 means more years in school, so that could mean higher cost for the family. So parang bago ka matapos is mas maraming years, additional 2 years. So that's additional 2 years worth of cost. So books, uniforms, masahe, baon, allowance, etc. Pero this additional 2 years will ideally make the workers more skilled. So ideally, ang mangyayari is after the 12 years in the program, pwede nang magtrabaho yung mga graduates. Although, syempre, iba pa rin kung college graduate. Pero at least, ideally kasi yung K-12 is may additional skills, working skills na. Unlike yung previous curriculum, yung 10 years lang, nire-ready lang for college, or not necessarily for employment. In K-12, parang ang idea is pwede ka na magtrabaho ng unskilled, mga low-level, hindi naman low-level skills, pero relatively low requirement na trabaho. So, mas magiging skills siya, mas kaya nila mag-work. Pero, okay yung K-12, assuming na yung additional 2 years will enable nga the students or the people to work. Kasi pwedeng may additional 2 years tayo, so that's additional cost. Pero yung 2 years na yun, kasi hindi naman pala siya enough para going skilled yung workers. So, useless din siya. So, magiging okay yung K-12 program, ako masasabi ko, it's additional cost, pero there's a higher perceived gain from it na skill niya. Pero yun, again, assumption is maganda yung implementation niya. Kasi kung mababa din yung quality, wala siyang effect. So, gumastos lang tayo. There are a lot of factors affecting unemployment. So, pwedeng lack of skills. So, pwedeng people are not employed because they don't have the skills or they don't have the minimum requirements to work. Okay? Pero possible din na kaya walang employment is because there's just no available jobs for them. So in the case of the Philippines, I think mix siya two-way. So we have a lot of people na walang skills, so hindi sila makakuha ng trabaho. So that's why the government has TESDA. So basically, TESDA is to provide vocational skills like yung mga welding, baking, so other vocational jobs na short courses lang siya at a minimum fee. Actually, libre siya. So, yung objective niya is para mabawasan yung unemployment by giving skills to workers who does not have skills. Yung isang part naman, marami tayong college graduates na walang trabaho kasi walang available job for them. Siyempre, if you're a college graduate, let's say for example, in your case, psychology kayo, siyempre, ang work na gusto nyo is yung pang psychology graduate. Alam nga naman mag-call center kaya, di ba? So, kung trabaho lang naman pala hinahanap para mabawasan yung unemployment, hindi po graduate nyo mag-call center kayo. Siyempre, hindi naman yung gusto nyo kasi iba yung skills na in-acquire nyo sa skills na gagamitin nyo po yung call center kayo. Mismatch na skills. Yung tao mismo ay nyo kumuha ng trabaho na hindi bagay sa skills niya. And yung industry, hindi rin siya kukuha ng workers na hindi nag-match dun sa skills na kailangan niya. So, basically, mismatch. For Arroyo administration, yung objectives niya, part of her objective is to increase employment. Isang issue na masasabi ko during the Arroyo administration is, yes, we were able to decrease unemployment rate. Bawasan yung, madami yung jobs na ginawa natin. Pero ang tanong is, what are these type of jobs? Is this job for skilled workers? Or is this jobs na para naman sabi may trabaho? Kasi, kunwari, street sweeper, so that's a job. Pero, what would you earn out of it? I mean, hindi sa minambayad ko sila, pero para sa isang pamilyang Pilipino na merong isang medium-sized na family, so, enough ba yung kikitain niya dun sa trabaho na yun para masustain yung family niya? Kasi yung unemployment, yung pagkakaroon ng trabaho, it's not about earning something, it's about sustaining your family. So, may trabaho ka na, kumanda yung figures, pero ano nangyari sa standard of living? Ano nangyari sa condition? Nasa poverty pa rin ba sila? Yung employment generation na ba yun was able to increase the standard of living or yung poverty level natin, nabawasan ba? So, kung titignan mo ng unemployment lang, as in the figure lang, wala siyang sinasabi sa atin. Kasi nga, as mentioned earlier, yung unemployment, pwedeng mismatch lang siya, kaya may unemployment. Pero pag minatch mo sila, okay naman pala sila, di ba? So, unemployment alone, hindi masasabi na progress na yun. Bumaba yung unemployment, hindi ibig sabihin progress na yun. Tingnan pa rin natin yung standard of living. Tingnan pa rin natin yung condition ng mga and that's just unemployment rate, but all other statistical data like GDP, inflation rate, growth rate, unemployment rate. So, these are data that aims to provide us information about the condition of the country of the Philippines. Okay? Pero, kung gano'n man siyang ka-credible na gawin, hindi pa rin siya absolute measure ng progress ng isang bansa. Kasi these are just figures. As per the data, hindi ko pwedeng sabihin na 100% credible siya. Kasi, these are data. Ibig sabihin, somehow, if we want to, we can manipulate it. And government agencies have their target. So, may target ng bawat government agency. And they could look for ways to change it. It's all about the figures. Pwede natin sabihin credible siya in terms of pag-compute, in terms of pag-gather. Pero, more important than the statistical data is what's really happening. So, wag natin isipin na dahil tumaas yung GDP growth, yung GDP, ibig sabihin, our country is performing better now. For Arroyo, it's more unemployment. Kasi the reason behind that is because employment, when you create employment, you hire more people. So as you hire more people, that means more people are earning income. So the more people earning income, it means that there are more activity in the economy. So kaya na nagkakaroon ng inflation. Pero parang just think about this, kung konti lang yung taong employed, konti lang yung may pera. For Aquino administration naman, I think it's more on foreign direct investment or more on investment. Kasi when you increase investment, it means you're increasing capital. So pag pumasok yung investment, kahit walang kita yung store, pero may nag-invest sa kanya, lalaki yung store. Pag lumaki siya, magka-hire din siya ng workers. So same effect din. Parang depende lang kung saan magsisimula, sa employment, sa capital. Magsisimula ba din sa producer yung nagbenta or din sa consumer na siya yung bibili. So, yun lang yung difference. Okay, so, possible that they have different focus, like sinabi ko kanina, yung isa employment, yung isa investment. Pero, I believe and I hope so, and I hope na yung end goal is all the same, progress for the Philippines. So, at the end of the day, kahit ano yung focus, yung mga sinasabi natin focus, ito lang yung way para ma-meet yung ultimate objective, which is progress for the Philippines. Whether it's increasing employment, to increase economic activity, or increasing capital or investment, to increase activity pa rin, dapat yung end goal is progress pa rin.